He slammed her head on the blue locker. The crack of impact cut through the crowded hallway like a slap to the air. His hands stayed locked to the back of her head, pressing her against the cold metal as if he owned both the hallway and her existence. He was the notorious one, the bully who made a habit of targeting his black schoolmates, mocking their skin, their presence, their right to belong. Students didn't intervene. Most didn't even look. They walked faster, eyes pinned to the floor, pretending they hadn't seen anything. Some of his friends watched like it was a show worth tickets, laughing under their breath, nudging each other. "See, this is where you belong," he said, smirking with full confidence in his untouchable status. Natasha didn't cry, didn't shout. Arms braced on the steel locker, she breathed steady. The silence around her somehow roared louder than their laughter. He leaned in, voice low and sharp. "Don't think you're an equal because that you in this school." His friends chuckled, clapping each other on the back. Farther down the hall, a few girls turned their heads away, one biting her lip, another squeezing her books like a shield. Then Natasha pushed herself off the locker, calm and unshaken, and looked him straight in the eye. The hallway froze. Her silence wasn't submission, it was something heavier, something he couldn't name. He scoffed, but it came out shakier than he meant. "Why don't you say something?" She said nothing. Nobody moved. Her quiet was suffocating. His smirk wavered just a little, and deep inside him, something he'd never acknowledged whispered fear. The bell rang for lunchtime like a distant alarm, and people scattered as though released from a spell. Before we go further, welcome to Voices Unchained. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, and drop your location in the comments. We want to see how far these stories travel. The cafeteria felt bigger than usual when he spotted her sitting alone, as always. He swaggered across the room, friends trailing like shadows feeding off his malice. "Still sitting alone? I guess nobody wants to sit with you. That's what happens when you're different," he taunted. He flicked her fork to the ground. Some students looked up. Others quickly looked down. No one got involved. Natasha bent down, picked up the fork, and sat back upright. She didn't blink, didn't speak, just held his gaze. The silence made his throat tighten. He expected tears, outrage, something to crush. Instead, he felt something inside himself crack. He grabbed her tray and turned it over. Her food poured onto the floor in a wet slap. Still, she didn't react. She didn't even glance down. She stayed quiet. If stories like this hit different, go ahead and subscribe right now so you never miss the next one. That evening, whispers crawled through the school like sparks on dry grass. Someone claimed she wasn't just any student. Someone else swore they'd seen men in suits near the school gate. Another muttered about federal something. Nobody knew for sure, but suddenly everyone had something to say. He laughed it off. Loudly. Desperately. The next morning, 3 men in dark jackets stood at the school entrance. They didn't touch him, didn't threaten. They just stood there with the kind of presence that made the air feel colder. He tried to walk past. One of the men stepped forward and said, "Mr. Johnson would like a word." The bully froze. The name landed like a stone in ice water. Special Agent Johnson, FBI. He turned his head, and there she was, Natasha, standing by the lockers, watching. She didn't smile. She didn't need to. Everything he once weaponized, silence, stillness, being unseen, now belonged to her. For the first time in his life, he wasn't the predator. He was the prey. From that day on, the school changed without anyone announcing it. The once feared bully walked the hallway with lowered eyes, avoiding everyone. His old friends drifted away, afraid to be associated with him. Natasha never bragged, never told the story, never reminded anyone who her father was. Everyone knew now. She didn't have to speak his title out loud. Special Agent Johnson was a name that traveled faster than shouting ever could. But the real power wasn't in her father's badge. It was in her silence. The same silence that broke him long before the truth arrived at the school gates. If that ending left something heavy in your chest, hit like, subscribe, and drop your location in the comments. Voices Unchained is just getting started.